right at this moment. Well, the muffler, and then the front pipe, and then you disconnect the four, 6 or 8 inch bolts for the mounts, the one on the top, starter wire for the ground wire for the starter, and obviously the carburetor and all that stuff. But it's really pretty simple, and to disconnect the chain, obviously. all of this shit work. I think it'll work. Anyways, so here's the motor. I got it ranked right out of that fucking beast. This is what I mean. Some of the shit was tucked, because this is one of those assemble your own when you get it to your house in a fucking crate, or God knows where this came. I don't even know. But the shit was tucked all into the little cavity in the frame, and I'm assuming that's where some of my wiring issues came from, was that fucking shit. Like some of this, if I were to squeeze it, you'll hear. Of course, I made another video of actually grabbing it on the frame where it connects to the frame, and it was just cracking all apart. Which I'm assuming the wires are, God knows. But I'm gonna take this all off. Probably, I don't know. Like there's some RTV that I added as well as someone else. I'm gonna get a new cover for this. I'm gonna redo these wires, do them all nice with heat shrink, and run them the right way in the frame, so they're not like prone to get all that heat soak, and then, as you heard. But yeah, everything else looks kinda alright, and then there's dirt everywhere because I rode this thing. But I took the fucking valve cover off. Yeah. Usually, like some of these lower end engines that you find that are not, common, I've seen quite a few. The valves and the push rods and that whole rocker arm system is sometimes not in the greatest shape. But this, I should really be wearing a glove, but that's okay. But there's no play in anything, no matter, like, nothing looks bad in there, nothing looks like it's, let me just put that like that, nothing looks out of the ordinary other than the oil is a little cooked, and I bore scoped the cylinder and it looks pretty good in there. It doesn't look too bad for what it is. It looks really good, actually. Maybe that's just me, like, partial to, I know that this is a fucking generic thing, but it kind of doesn't seem that way realistically. As long as I can get the actual gaskets, get rid of this RTV that's in here all along everything. This cover is broken for the starter gear, so I want to take this off. We'll see if I can replace this. If not, do you know how to weld this? Just don't like to. Actually, my dad's bike right there, one of the foot pegs was welded on there, made out of the same cast aluminum or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I can have it welded. I want to get a new setup for here because this is a little rattly, but what are you gonna ask for? Realistically, I paid $200, so realistically, I got a summer's worth out of it, and here we are. You can hear the heater in there. Yeah. So we'll see what this looks like once I go through, make sure the vitals are good, redo this wiring. I'm sure once I test it, I don't even have to take the cover off, but I'm going to anyways because I want to see what the state of all of this garbage is. I did band-aid it. I added RTV right here because it went into the casing, and there was a little bit of oil that I think is coming out of this seal right here. Of course, there's supposed to be a cover in here. There's shit smooched in there, right in here. I don't even know if I'm pointing this in the right area. Other than that, it ran and drove. I just kept having an issue, which I'm hoping that the carb, I'm just going to take and redo the carb completely again, and get rid of anything that's garbage, and I'm pretty sure this wiring was a big issue. Maybe a leak on this. I was noticing here there's RTV, like, see, I'm not even pointing in the right direction. There's like little RTV bits in there. You can't even see it. Oh, you can see the little red bits on there. Anyways, wondering if that on the elbow for the carburetor, the gasket, just, I mean, it doesn't really look like it, but I mean, kind of, because there's RTV that was blown out, apparently. So, I don't know. But everything else is fine, so I'm going to check into that. Just make sure everything's gasketed and cylinder looks good. There's no bearing issues from what I can see. But we're going to double check and make sure. But for winter time, this is what I'm going to fucking... I got this one. And of course, there's one right there opened up that needs to be addressed. So, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes to get it going. But thinking about painting it all cool just because it's a turd. Thinking about painting this on the frame, doing something that you wouldn't see on a $200 dirt bike.